Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Don for Don Alpha channel. Welcome back to another episode. If it's your first time being here, please subscribe, comment, like, and even share our videos out there so that we have heaps of videos which are down here on the channel. Be free to check them out and see what we are doing here. Today we're going to be talking about just some simple experiences about people, like just be yourself. That would be the title for this video. So today we'll be just talking about just be yourself. We look at different aspects of life, I don't know, for you, probably you prefer a person who pretends to be a different person, to be that kind of a person who just want to make you pretends to you, pretending to be somebody instead of being themselves. But for me, I prefer a person who are themselves. They present themselves as they are. There's no need of pretending to be somebody else. I just need them to be whoever they are so that I can just handle any situation. So I can talk with an extrovert. I can talk to an introvert. I can talk to a chilled guy who just wanna, have chilled vibes. I can talk to anybody. So I accommodate anybody from theist, atheist, Muslim, Hindu, whatever, any religion you're coming from, I can accommodate it. So it's a matter of victimizing any religion. But sometimes at some point in life, we tend to learn something new and probably change the direction of life we've been going, and then just finding something different. You discover something, new information, and you believe in that information and try to build yourself up and just based on different experiences, whatever you've studied, whatever you've analyzed, whatever you have been checking out, and then you or any critical analysis you've been doing, then you can make a decision. So it's better to just let people be themselves, because as a parent or as a friend or as a relative, sometimes you don't understand. If you don't have any beef with nobody, a person can only come on the camera to talk about human experiences. So sometimes when they're talking about human experiences, if you're not doing something whereby you're just walking out there, talking about it with different people, interviewing different people, even when you're interviewing people, those people will be talking about human experiences as well. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're talking about anybody else. So you need to understand that people, when they're coming online, they're pretty much sometimes coming to just talk about human experiences, not necessarily anybody. If I haven't fought with you, if we are not fighting, if we have no bond, nothing to fight for, if I haven't been talking to you in a bad way, there's no way I can just come out and start attacking you. Sometimes when you're coming out, especially like when you're talking about theist and atheist, some people can feel some type of difference, because most of the things which govern people is the fear of God, right? So if you remove that fear and you are living in a different life, now you just don't have any fear. It becomes a challenge to somebody who probably are theists. But it's not like we are attacking theists. If theists can feel free to come on a video and make a video and explain how they love God, Jesus Christ, and all that kind of stuff, why cannot somebody come and say, no, I have never had any experience of seeing Jesus in my life. I could have been baptized. I could have been all this. I've been a Christian for the rest of my life. But to tell me that I've seen Jesus, and then when you understand that the whole religion sometimes is just based on belief, and then what's the meaning of belief? What's the meaning of faith? What's the meaning? Those are the words you're supposed to be defining, especially faith. Just like believing or accepting something with no evidence or proof, or without anything which shows that it exists. So why do you need faith to believe in the supernatural God? That's some of the questions we will start asking yourself. But as Christians sometimes, or as theists, sometimes you are taught not to reason against the Bible. And that was the main objective of the missionaries when they are coming to Africa, so that you are not supposed to reason against the scriptures. You're not supposed to reason. You have to live the life they are preaching to you. So it's something people, some other people can understand it, some people won't understand it. It's not a force matter. It's not like we are talking about nobody. When I'm talking about these things, it's clearly my own experience. I am just trying to put out here. So if you have a different opinion, there's no need of thinking that I can talk about you. Why would I talk about you? I haven't fought with you. I don't have any beef with you. I'm not even angry about anything about you. I'm just living my life, doing what I want to do, liberating myself, just being free. I want to be free. I don't want people, if you come into my life suggesting something, that's awesome. It's up to me whether I'll take the suggestion or I won't take the suggestion. It's up to me to make the decision, the final decision. As an adult, any adult out there, I don't think anyone would want another person to come and direct their life when they are adults. When they are actually fathers out there. When they're actually, doing their own things. You need to find a way of how you talk to each other as friends, relatives, or any other religion you can believe. But one thing you have to understand is, well, if you can't accommodate another person, and you're probably saying you're theist, if you're theist, and you can't accommodate the other person, then you're breaching all the commandments in the book. Isn't it supposed to love your enemies or love your whatever? Love everybody. God is love, isn't it? According to the theist. But so the problem is when you become theist, if you read the Bible a lot, most likely you might become atheist. Not necessarily that you want to be, but I'm just saying, if you discuss the Bible a lot, especially with the people who are very intelligent, with PhDs and all that kind of stuff, you might end up becoming an atheist. If you read the Bible a lot, this is a challenge I'm giving to people, though. Not like read the Bible a lot and try to make sense of it. It doesn't mean like sometimes some people get offended with different things. Sometimes I can come and say, for an adult to believe that Moses crossed the Red Sea on foot or on horses, it doesn't make sense. That's foolish. I say to believe that it's foolish. Someone can get offended by that, but what I am just trying to say is a no-brainer. Like, how would you just believe like that? Is it a cartoon story? Is it a cartoon character? Was Moses a cartoon character in the story, or what? Was this real, or or you can say he crossed by using the Holy Spirit. Probably that's how you understand it, but that's not how I understand it. I understand it in a different way, and I will put it in my own way. It doesn't mean that I'm insulting people. It doesn't mean that I'm just challenging your mind. It's food for thought. If you can't have critical thinking and challenge other people, then you're not educated enough. You don't have to include yourself in the conversations. There's nobody invited in these conversations. I am doing these conversations by myself for other people, with other people around the world on different platforms online. I have never tried to convince somebody that there is no God, but I'm just saying, sometimes, when you read the Bible a lot and you analyze it, you will tell me a different story. Depending on how you understand it. But some people don't understand the Bible. I used to do the same as well. If I want something like perseverance, I just Google perseverance. Encouragement, I just go Google encouragement. I'll go to Psalms. I'll repeat some Psalms. I get motivated. For somebody, a prayer is just just a good meditation session. For somebody, a prayer is just a good meditation session, because you're just repeating to yourself, like, I want to pass an exam. I remember when I was doing my master's, I want to pass an exam. I want to pass this exam. I want to try to finish. I'll pray. I'll be praying to God, or I'll praying to Jesus. I want to, help me, God. Let me be focused. I need to smash this. That kind of stuff. This is the same as meditation. You can just sit down and just repeating it to yourself, and then just, getting inside you. Because the God is inside you. This is the temple of the Holy Spirit. It's the mind. The mind, that's what you are challenging. To think, to focus on things you want. That's how I understand it. So eventually, how, that's why I took the decision I took, like to try to understand more about this atheist philosophy. Because the atheist philosophy can be different. There's agnostic atheists, there are Gnostic atheists. They are also, so yeah, you need to understand all those philosophies for you to be able to make your judgments. And it can only be done when you read the Bible a lot. You don't have to bring feelings on these things, because I'm discussing these things with Muslims. I've never read the Quran. I never knew the Surah. Up to this year, I discovered the Surah, the Hadith, whatever, all these other things which I've discovered, and a lot of stories in the Quran. And even to find out that the Quran and the Bible, they are like this, very close to each other. The prophets are the same. The names are just being changed into Arabic. But the prophets, the stories are just the same. Some of the things, if you read these books, you tend to understand that some of these stories. I can give you a lot of verses, but I don't want to do that, because this video is not made to challenge you. But I'm just making this video to let people be. If you don't understand, or if you haven't read properly, if you don't understand what was the mission of the missionaries coming to your country, and why do they say it's easy for a rich man, for a poor man to enter heaven than a rich man? Why were that being recited so many times? It is easy for a poor man, so that you keep on being poor. You not have that critical thinking of how can I alleviate poverty from our societies, because we enter heaven, right? It's tricky, but it's interesting. So some of these things I leave it to you. You make your own decision. It's your personal decision. It's not like I'm attacking any of my relatives or any of my friends. You have to understand that we talk this in a civil conversation with different people who believe. Yesterday we had a father on the channel, and it was interesting, man. I don't know whether he was a Catholic father or Anglican father. He didn't mention, but we had a priest yesterday on the channel. So you have to understand, these are some of the conversations we do. These are mature conversations. These are not conversations of people who come with their feelings and try to say, oh yeah, you can talk about this. We are trying to talk to attack problems as they are. Why are we saying this? Why are we saying this? Why did this happen to Mary when she was engaged and she was only 13? Why did this happen to this? Why did God need to tempt Satan, to approach Satan and say, I have Job, my boy? Why did Jonah has to be swollen with the? You have to understand. Some of this you don't like to think like the why. Oh, it's all spiritual. Oh, what? I've seen Jesus. Me personally, I've never seen Jesus. I have never seen Jesus. I don't want to lie. I don't understand people who speak in tongues. What I understand is tongues is supposed to be a language which you can understand in your own language. So when we say and nobody's understanding the language, how is that spiritual? The way I understand tongues, when they were speaking in tongues, everybody who was gathering, they were hearing in their own language. But there's kind of tongues people speak. This kind of tongues. Probably that's our own language. That's why we are hearing it in that language. Probably. You never know. Probably those were the correct tongues. And most of the things which I see in the churches nowadays, most of the pastors or prophets who actually make people fall, they have to be initiated. So it's not like the Holy Spirit, according to me. Probably to you is the Holy Spirit. But if someone has to be initiated, if someone has to dive in probably into African traditional religion, then you're just getting into African traditional religion. It's funny that people can accept the green tea, the what they would buy in shops, or Chinese herbs, and then you don't accept your own African herbalist. It's just tricky. You have to understand why does that happen. Why is that our mind is like that? It's programmed like that. You have to understand who brought that kind of idea that you hate yourself. Your own stuff, you hate it. And then you love foreign stuff. Anything Eurocentric, you love it. That's what you have to understand. History is very important for you to live your life today and how you can project your life moving forward. And whatever projects we do as an African people, our history is very vital, including slavery. Slavery is all over the Bible. You know, if you get slapped on one cheek, give him another one. I have a lot of verses, man. Hate your brother and follow me. Hate your brother, your sister, your mother, and follow me. Hey, we have a lot of things I can talk about, but today I'm not focusing on that. I'm just saying you need to understand and to read and to understand what was the purpose of these books being written, and why was everybody who talked about black consciousness got killed. Everybody wanted to change the mind of a black man got killed in history. That's the same thing we are doing today. You can confront your own brother, you hate your own father, hate your sister just because of religion. Come on, man. Oh, aren't you going against your own religion then? You're supposed to love. God is love, isn't it? But it's one of those things. If you want to actually talk about these things, I can bring them a lot of verses and just trying to show you how it works. You can have your own thinking, like, oh, that's the spiritual thing. Have you ever met Jesus? For real, for real. I have a relationship with him. Does the relationship a two-way? For it to be called a relationship, it has to be two-way. You communicate to him and he communicates back. If he can communicate back, then it's just a one-way relationship. You're just forcing yourself, or just, I don't know, hallucinating or delusional, or I don't know what I can call you. You just go in there, just speak and speak words. But we need to understand. I'm not trying to turn anybody into atheist. You find it yourself. You do it your own. You find where you are. It's good, because that's what you were indoctrinated to do. There are about 10,000 gods in the world. More than 10,000 gods in the world. Just know that. So what makes yours special? What made you choose the Jesus one you are following today? Those are the things you have to think about. You can say this guy is crazy, or whatever he's talking about is Antichrist, or these terms were coined to keep you in the matrix. But anyway, what can you talk about today? I was just saying, be yourself. When you're out here, when you're disseminating information, just be yourself. You don't have to fear what the other person can say, because we are not fighting. I'm not fighting with nobody. I'm just doing what I feel like is the right thing to do, and I just discuss what I feel like discussing, because I know it's important. For somebody, it can help somebody who feels like they can be helped. But if you don't feel like you can be helped, or if you don't feel like you are, well, the fear of God is in you, but the God will never help you, man. Then if you are hungry today, you need somebody to come and help you. If you are sick today, you need to thank the doctor if he gives you the right medication and you heal, not to thank Jesus. But Jesus is not the one who has healed you, especially if you have gone to the hospital. If you spend 4 years studying for a degree, it's you. When life ends, it's just a matter of oxygen. All these other things you can talk about, because you're scared of the nothingness after death. So you try to put the burden on somebody so that you won't get depressed. It's all up to you. If you think like that is so good, you go to heaven, you meet all the trillions and zillions of people who have died since AB or BC, you know, death of Christ and before, after death. So you can do anything, man. You can do what you gotta do, but just know that some of these things, they were coined for a reason, especially for a reason to keep you in the matrix. And you need to do a bit of reading. The problem is there are people who don't read. That's the problem. They don't read. I didn't used to read a lot as well, like trying to read the Bible from cover to cover and understand all the stories, the revelations, what does this mean. I didn't used to read like that, but you know, when you discuss with other people, discuss information, trying to open each other's minds, and it becomes more logical and interesting. So check it out, man. Be you, do you. No one is being attacked on this channel or on my socials. I will be just discussing what I will be feeling like discussing. So coming to my channel like feeling like, oh, I'm being attacked. Come on, man. Give me a break. Cut me some slack. Cut me some slack. Cut your brother some slack. Your brother is not coming after you. He's just coming after whatever he has discovered and just disseminating information. People are making money on these digital platforms. So if whatever you feel like this is the idea which I want to put out here, or I want to share with people, feel free to share it, because it's what's supposed to be done. So I'll meet you on another one. For this one, I think I'm done. I've put my perspective out there. Just be yourself. Work hard. Put it out, the content you feel like putting out. Don't let people just tell you, especially if you're an adult, tell you what to do. But if they suggest the information to you, probably might consider it if you feel like it is appropriate for a certain topic you're talking about. Nobody said you can't get advice. You can get advice, but the way it's being given, that's what makes it being considered or not being considered. For now, I'm out. I'll meet you on the next one. Ciao.